What's going on, everyone? Today might be a little bit of a short video, but I have some cool parts that I just picked up. I've been looking for a wing for the car, and specifically a spoon carbon wing for the car, and I was able to get one for fairly cheap. I paid $60 for not only one, but two wings. So I got a carbon fiber spoon style wing here, as well as this wing. I think it's called a RPF wing. These look great on wide body kits, but I don't think it's going to look good on the EG, so I'm either going to sell it or save it for later to put it on the car. So it's going to be a quick little video. I don't think I'm going to do too much for this video, just throw the wing on. I might have a surprise later on, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But for now, just the wing's the main focus, because I have other things that I want to get done as well. So let's get started. Yeah. So we ended up running into an issue, which I should have expected because this wing is very cheap. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit at all. The bolts are just not lining up. The wing has so much gap, it just looks ridiculous. So I had two options. I was either gonna try to resell the wing and be honest about everything, unlike the person who sold it to me. Oh, also, the person who sold it to me told me it wasn't defective, but I found that he super glued the bolts back on, so that wasn't really cool. But basically just tell whoever buys it next, the wing isn't really great, and I would just sell it for, I don't know, half of what I got it. Or option two, which I'm gonna try, is to modify it to get it to fit as good as it'll get. Basically dremeling out the bolts and then add the bolts back. So it'll be a cool little project. I haven't worked with fiberglass or anything like that before, and it's not really working with it, it's just modifying it. But at least I'll get to try and see if I can get it in a position that looks decent, at least better than what it looks now. So what we're gonna start with is just trying to Dremel out these bolts to get them out of the wing itself, and then play around with a little bit of different ways to get the wing aligned, and then get everything back together. So let's get started. All right, so I started dremeling this out, and basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue until the bolt can come out. It's loose enough that I could try to rip it out, but I don't want to break anything, so we're just gonna keep dremeling. Yeah. Now we can try to fit it on the car without the bolts getting in the way, so I can get a little bit better fitment versus having to get the bolts aligned with the holes and then not being able to play with it as much. Again, the goal of this is to basically reposition the bolts so then it fits a little bit better on the chassis. But first, I gotta turn around the car, and it's raining, so I'm not too happy to do it, but at least it'll be easier to work on with the car facing this way. hopefully this is a little bit easier to see. I marked the center lines of the drill or where the bolts should be. So you can see that this is really off. So the center of the bolt was basically here, and where it should be is all the way over here. And we're moving it a little bit farther back, which then moves the spoiler closer to the front of the chassis. So that gives you guys a little bit more of an idea of where it should have been, all the way back here versus in the middle of here. Well, this thing has been a complete failure. The bolts ended up breaking off. The JB weld did not hold, which sucks. So now I'm gonna have to move to plan C, which is drilling through the top of the wing and bolting it directly to the chassis. I think this is actually the best way to go right now. I know it's not gonna be as clean as having like the bolts from the inside, but it'll be more safe than relying on JB weld. To be honest, I probably shouldn't have done that in the first place. Just in case if something happens, it cracks and then it goes flying and hits someone behind me. I'm actually happy that that didn't work out, because now I can do this in a way that is safe. It doesn't look the best, but again, this wing was $60. So I just realized that in order to improve the fitment, I want to get this as flush as possible. So you see how it's really flushed over here? So I like how it's flush here, and this is basically pushed against the chassis. Over here, there's a gap. And the reason why there's a gap is because on this side, you can see there's more space between the hanger and the wing itself, versus on this side, they basically smash against each other. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to grind this out a little bit more and then see if it gets a little bit closer to the chassis. Let's see the fitment. Should be way better. Oh yeah. That is 10 times better. Let's drill out these holes and then get everything situated. With the car facing the front of the garage. The car, yeah. Right? I don't know, bro.